We have with us today, I can see, yes, Ms. Zati, the General Manager for Hotel UITM Dungun. Welcome aboard. Good morning, Ms. Zati.
Good morning.
Okay. We also have several familiar faces here. Madam Saira from Sabah, Madam Shira from UITM Malacca, okay, so I guess we're going to start at 9:30, but we're still waiting for few participants. Okay, have you guys had your breakfast today?
Hi, good morning everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Good luck to everyone who is going to present today. Best of luck. And I have one friend from UITM Sabah that will be presenting today, Mr. RC.
Yeah, I
Are you?
saw him just now, but he left the the virtual session. Probably he going to join us back. Okay, so we're going to have another 5 minutes before we begin, right?
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning.
Morning, RC. Good luck.
Thank you, madam.
Right. I guess can we start? Because it's already 9:30. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all honorable judges, presenters, participants. It's my pleasure to moderate the session today for the virtual parallel session, International Joint Conference on Hospitality and Tourism, IJCHT-21. I would like to welcome all of you. I believe at the moment we are from all over Malaysia, the North Zone, the South Center Zone, East Coast, West Malaysia, right? And all of you here basically to share your findings, your interesting research topics with regards to your research area. So before we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Jazira Anwar, the lecturer from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UITM Terengganu, from Hotel Management Department. I am the chairperson for today. Also, will be sharing two of my papers with my team members, right? We also have Ms. Nur Shahira Bibit, the lecturer from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UITM Penang. She is from the Department of Culinary and Gastronomy. We also have Mr. Muhammad Saiful Nizam and Madam Noraini as the support team. To ensure we have a smooth session, please mute your microphone at all times. If you have any questions to ask the presenter, you can type it in a chat box or you can unmute your mic and ask after each presenter session. Okay, basically we have 5 papers today, but I believe only 2 presenters are available. But it's okay, all of you can ask questions as well and share your insights, right? So each presenter will be given 10 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for question and answer session. Okay, it's the online tradition. Okay, before we start, let's have a group photo together as requested by the organizer or the committees. So can all of you please turn on your camera and we're going to have a group photo together. So I guess those that did not turn camera, maybe probably they are shy. Okay, Ms. Shahira. Ms. Shahira will take the photo. Smile, everyone.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, and
All right, thank you so much. So without further ado, let us start our presentation with first presenter. So who's going to be the first presenter? Oh, okay, it's me. All right, I'll be changing role. And now I'm wearing the presenter hat. Okay, I'll be sharing my slide with all of you. Right. Okay. Hold on, yeah. All right. Can you guys see my slide? Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, me and my team members, Mushairin Musa, Kazaina Khalid, Lily Norainul Ashikin, and Nuralisa from the Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UITM Terengganu, we're going to share on the challenges of online education during pandemic. COVID-19. Evidence from educators. So basically, I'm going to start with the overview of the study, research objective, the methodology, as well as the findings or highlight of the study. Sorry. Okay, it's basically what we are experiencing at the moment, online learning, 100% online learning. So the pandemic has root for class suspensions, resulting in the needs of online learning, according to Morehouse 2020. And it becomes a new challenge for both, not only us, the lecturers, but also the student, adapting to online learning, as highlighted by Atmojo and Nugroho 2020. Atmojo also highlighted that students do not have to commute long distances and they can be location independent. This is basically the benefits of online learning. Furthermore, this online learning has invited many researchers to explore the topic further. Several researches conducted by several authors, as you can see in the slide, indicated that motivation and students' attitude toward learning can be improved through online education or online learning. Nevertheless, though online learning have many benefits, educators have struggled to quickly transform their face-to-face classes to solely online learning, especially without experience in online teaching. So at present, specifically the Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, educators or the lecturers also encountered challenges as this is a new norm and applied to all courses as well. So this research, we would like to explore what are the challenges encountered by educators or lecturers in online learning, especially during the pandemic, COVID-19. So we conduct an in-depth interview with 16 lecturers or educators from Hotel Management Department. It took roughly 45 minutes per session, and we use convenient sampling to approach all respondents. The justification for respondents are they involved in online teaching for theory and practical classes, both, and they also involved in online learning activities, okay, as trainers as well as facilitator. So findings from the interview session was being recorded, transcribed verbatim, and analyzed using Atlas TIE software. So these are the respondents' profile. As you can see, 8 of the respondents are female senior lecturers, and 4 of them are male senior lecturers with both teaching experience more than 10 years and teaching more than 3 subjects, 3 different codes, whereby we also have 3 male lecturers and also 1 female lecturer with teaching experiences less than 10 years and have roughly 3 different code or subject. So these are the findings derived from our interview session. We have 4 themes that derive from the interview. The first one is communication breakdown. The second one is lack of training among lecturers, especially with regards to all these tech-savvy applications, inadequate assistance with students' online delivery, and last but not least, assessing students' ongoing performance. So these are among the findings that we transcribed. One respondent highlighted that communication is vital in ensuring students understand what we try to deliver. I feel struggle trying to communicate with them, as most of them never ask questions during theory classes, but they are unable to answer the questions related to the topic during tutorial. Whereby another respondent postulated that in online education, communication and interactions between the lecturers and students are very important. The communication involves content, methods, learning activities, assignments, but honestly, the effective communication is where we are lacking. It's probably due to poor line connections and mass lecture that students feel shy to ask. Okay, so this would be the second findings. Lack of trainings among lecturers with tech-savvy applications. One respondent highlighted that I personally believe that we need adequate training in fully utilizing this online learning. For instance, to proceed with MOOC courses, not all lecturers have the skills and knowledge to design MOOC, where another respondent postulated that it requires more time and resources in order to make our class interesting and interactive. Though we are trying our best, but we have other commitments as academicians too. So training would be the best answer to assist us. The third finding would be inadequate assistance with students' online delivery. We do have tutorial classes for accounting subject. As much as I'm trying my best to deliver the subject to the students, I do feel like there's an inadequate assistance with the students' online delivery, whereby another respondent stated that we have quite a large number of students per subject as it involves math lecture. It can goes up to more than 60 students. Thus, we are having difficulties trying to accommodate them with assistance in online delivery. Okay, so this would be the last findings. Assessing students' ongoing performance as the challenge for lecturers in online learning. One respondent stated that for theory class, if you conduct a face-to-face test, you can monitor the student while they are doing tests. But in online environment, it's difficult to monitor since the students are not in front of you. Yes, you can go for live virtual test session, but it would consume a lot of data. And another respondent stated that some of the students face poor internet connections. So although I insist everyone to turn on their camera during my lecture, it would still be unfair for those who have poor internet connections. So I need to consider them. At the end, it's hard to measure whether students really understand my lecture that day because I cannot see their facial expression. Okay. So as a conclusion, we believe that every present and future online educators should not only emphasize on the online education, the content matter, but need to accentuate on the extra elements, probably provide interactive videos, fun learning activities through games that will woo and wow the students, thus leading to the successful of online education course delivery. So this future research can expand on exploring the perspective from students. Okay, the even limited or stunted glimpse of their perspective can provide deeper descriptions of online education design phenomenon. When such expansion occurs, it is hoped that enhanced understanding of online education challenges and considerations will help the next generation and lecturers to create more robust, enriching, and empowering online learning. Okay. So with that, thank you so much for listening. I'll be stopping my presentation. Any questions from the floor? Or probably you guys would like to share your opinions on the challenges that you encounter. Oh, okay, Miss Chan, you have any question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
In terms of how the research was conducted, your sampling is only 16 lecturers, right? 16 number of samples is only 16. So what exactly, other than the limitation in the number of participants in your research, what are the other limitations that you set to your research?
Other limitation?
Yeah, like because you can actually expand it to, like, let's say, to more students or more lecturers, right? So what make
Uh,
you limit it to just 16?
okay. It's basically we are from the perspective of lecturers. So this research is being conducted on the perspective of lecturers. We would like to know more on what are the challenges that they face, or all the obstacles that they face with online learning. And another group of researchers conduct from students' perspective. So research focus on the lecturers as well. So we do not distribute questionnaire. We ask question. Hence the limited number of respondent are being justified with the criteria that they are the facilitator, they involve in teaching online teaching activities, and they also teach both the practical and the theory subjects. Because I think yes, it's a challenge to all of us, but when you are teaching practical classes, the challenge is more, or from different perspective. For example, housekeeping subject. You do bed making. If face-to-face classes, it's very straight to the point. It's very easy. You teach them the theory part, and the practical class, yes, you can evaluate the students straight away. For example, how they're going to do the bed making, and or cleaning the room, bathroom cleaning. But when you are doing it online and with the limited facilities that students have at home, so we believe that it would be a good findings by exploring in depth the lecturers or researchers perspective.
Thank you. Yeah, I
All
can
right.
understand on the practical part because I'm also teaching a science subject, so I have lab as well.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
that's really a challenge for all of us. So I think it's even harder for you guys because you have to show it, right? So
Yeah, yes.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
really a challenge.
Yeah, same goes with all those lecturers from culinary. I believe like Miss Shahira, because for practical classes, you can, Mr. Mushairin, here I can see is the culinary pioneer in UITM Terengganu. So it's challenging for you to demonstrate, for example, cooking. Although you have an interactive videos,
It's just
but
not the same.
yeah, yes, it is
Yeah, it's
just not
just
the
not the
same.
same.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Chan. Any other questions from the floor? Okay. I guess Mr. RC can't wait to present his paper. Okay. So let's go virtually to Sabah, a beautiful state below the wind. So I'll be okay, Mr. Muhammad Hardy, Mr. RC will be presenting on student perception and preference between face-to-face and online learning among students from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UITM Kota Kinabalu. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Chazira. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. So basically from your research that you just share now, we do have the coherence, meaning that your data and this data, they have connections. We can, later I'll show you the data that been collected and why the data is like this. We can um, make connection with your research and also I think have connection with pandemic COVID-19, exploring student challenge of online learning experience. Okay, without any further ado, because I don't want to take much time. If I start to talk, it will be 1 hours. Okay, as per mentioned, these are the papers, student perceptions and preference between face-to-face and online learning among students from faculties of Hotel and Tourism Management in UITM Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Okay, of course, tourism education is important for the tourism industry because it is one of the tools for enhancements of national tourism and it can increase the tourism development. What the student learn during the class, they can bring it during the working experience. And in terms of learning, we can learn in terms of traditional classes, which is face-to-face, online classes, and also open distance learning, or it can be a mix between traditional and also online classes. But due to COVID, we shift everything from face-to-face or mix to 100% online learning or open distance learning. And due to that, we have this um, issue where we wanted to identify in terms of the student perspective. So here, we wanted to know the perceptions and preference of the students. Why? Because of the students are the customers for higher institution, especially for private sectors. So we want to ensure their satisfaction, loyalty, and also building strong institutional image. So by having understand these perception and preferences. Okay, so research objective, we have two. Number one, to find out the student perceptions, and second would be to identify the student preference between face-to-face learning and also online learning. Of course, the significance of the studies, theoretical implication contributes to the new bodies of knowledge, but the most important part would be the practical implication, whereby the higher institution, the educator, we, the lecturer, we can formulate strategy, we can formulate new methods on how to deliver the information, how to deliver the knowledge more effectively. So based on this finding, if say the student are unable to gain more knowledge, so what are the methods that we can use to increase that knowledge sharing? Okay. So before we find out the preference and also the perceptions, we need to identify the characteristics of learning. So we have interaction, knowledge gain, and flexibility. So interaction, based on previous study, they stated that students prefer higher level of interactions with lecturer, classmate, engagement in class, discussion, participation in activities, and expression of opinion during class. So based on what being shared by Madam Jazira just now, we have these lacks of interaction. So based on the student's perspective, we will find out later on. And then knowledge gain, so learn, understand, and motivated. And from previous study, online learning result in greater knowledge gain. Some researcher mentioned that face-to-face has better result compared to online learning, but some researcher mentioned that there are no significant difference between face-to-face and online learning. This is might due to different respondent or different case study. And last but not least, in terms of characteristics of learning, we have flexibility. So here it means that in terms of managing study time, their location, where they wanted to learn, their study material, deadlines. So most of the previous studies stated that students generally perceive online learning to be more flexible compared to face-to-face learning. So this would be the study framework, as I mentioned, to understand the student perception and preference. We need to identify the characteristic first. So this would be the methodology. Data were collected from 253 students from the faculties of Hotel and Tourism Management. Data collected from last year. So the numbers of total students during that time is 673 students. So these are adapting from Platt, Amber, and Jew 2014. So these are the um, questions or the statement from scale 1, strongly disagree, scale 7, strongly agree. So section A, demographic profile, section B would be the perception, and last but not least, section C would be preferences. Okay. The findings, most of the respondents are female, so the opinion might be skewed to the opinion of the female respondent, age between 21 to 23 years old. As the education level, of course, we have diploma, only diploma and degree for hotel and tourism management here. Most of the respondents are from degree, and nearly 100% from East Malaysia, Sabah Sarawak, only 7 from Peninsular Malaysia. And this one would be the semester. most of the student, because of we collected last year, most of the student they experience face-to-face learning and also online learning. Okay, from the analysis or from the finding in terms of interaction, the respondent or the student stated that online class has fewer interaction in terms of engagement, in terms of attentiveness, in terms of discussions, in terms of involvement, interaction with instructors, classmates, and they are not willing to express their opinion in online classes. So have you experienced before, like you asking questions and like silence, and no one answer? So they do answer here. They are unwilling to share their opinions during online classes, which is similar to previous researcher. And in terms of knowledge gain, they also mentioned that online classes, they learn fewer, they understand lesser compared to face-to-face classes. And last but not least, flexibility. They somewhat agree that online learning give flexibility in terms of managing their study time, their location, designing their own study agenda, organizing their study materials. Classes are easy to fit into their schedules and allowed to work at their own pace. But they disagree with this statement. Online classes offer more flexibility in terms of deadlines, meaning that if the deadline is, example, 31st August, then you must submit on 31st August. So they only disagree on this statement, meaning that um, online classes doesn't have the flexibilities in terms of deadline, and which is similar to previous studies by Platt, Rel, and Yu 2014. And in terms of preferences, based on this data, the student prefer face-to-face classes compared to online classes. So we can see that from the what Madam Jazira just shared now, what being shared, the knowledge gained by the student. Let me go back here. Knowledge gain, all are lesser, which is there are coherence there. For future research, because of the studies conducted only to the students of the faculties of Hotel and Tourism Management in UiTM Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. So for future studies, we can go for a broader respondent from various university, not only UiTM, but also the private sectors. And for next research, we can also find out the reason why students prefer face-to-face learning compared to online learning. Might be due to the challenges, internet, or so forth. So we need to do this type of research for future research. Okay, to conclude, the student prefer face-to-face compared to online because of they cannot gain more knowledge, they unable to interact. And then in terms of flexibility, yes, they do like that. But we as the educator, what we can do from this data is we can improve our teaching and learning methods on how to deliver the information effectively so that we can deliver, example, we want to deliver A, and then the student will understand A. So what are the best methods? We have Google Classroom, we have Future, we have YouTube, and so forth. So we need to understand all of this and how we can um, combine all of this internet or this Google Classroom and so forth to enhance the student knowledge and also the teaching and learning methods. And by that, I end my presentation. Do you have any question that you wanted to ask?
All right. Congratulations, Mr. RC. I think such an interesting topic. Okay. I have one question for you.
Oh, yeah.
From your point of views as lecturer or educator, um, what are your opinions with regards to this online learning environment?
Okay, so basically, when we talk about online learning environment, COVID-19 struck us suddenly, so we are unprepared for delivering the knowledge online. Also, we do have mixed classes, meaning that face-to-face and also online classes, but suddenly everything 100% online. And even example, practical classes, as Mr. Edwin mentioned here, teaching barista using espresso machine, we cannot teach via online. It's a practical thing. So we need to teach um, in physical class. So here the preparation done not only by the lecturer but by the university but also by the students are lacking. So this would be might be some of the issues that we facing until now. Um, if not mistaken, nearly 2 years we doing online classes, but still we have the same issue, which is our facilities.
Yes, agree. Um, Probably, can you share some of your
Hmm.
tips or experiences that you use for your class activities to engage full participation from the students? What are the activities
Okay, so
that you
basically,
conduct?
okay, thank you, Madam Jazira. So of course, we here in UiTM Sabah, we are very concerned regarding to our student and also what they learn during our class. So some of the method that we do, not only that we have weekly class, online class, but also we have recorded session. Like example, the student are unable to come during the class because of they have internet connection. In Sabah, we have like every week doesn't have electricity, doesn't have any electricity, that mean that they doesn't have any internet connections. So we have this recorded video and we upload in Google Classroom. And also we are using, we have Google Classroom, UFuture, we have Facebook to share all of this knowledge or material so that the student can access when is necessary, because some student might okay using Google Classroom, might okay using YouTube, and compared to Facebook, Google Classroom, and YouTube, for slow internet connection, it is much faster to view the video via YouTube. Hmm. So we can do this one, which is live session and also recorded.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your
Okay,
answer. Okay, we have one question from
thank
Madam Nur
you.
Azlina Rahmat in the chat
Okay.
box. She's the tourism lecturer, senior lecturer from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UiTM Terengganu. The question is, how you select your sample size? What sampling method that you use for your study?
Okay, thank you, Madam Nur Azlina. So the sample being used would be purposive sampling because of we have specific population. So it is a purposive sampling from the data from the list of students. So we send to our student via email, via WhatsApp group to ask them to answer the question. So it is a purposive sampling. As per mentioned, the we have population 673 students last year, and then from that we get 253. Okay, is that answering your questions?
Yeah, Madam Azlina. Nur Azlina. Oh, thank you, she said.
Okay, you're
Okay,
welcome.
any other questions from the floor, or probably would like to share your experiences with regards to online learning? Madam Sharani Shira from Malacca. No question. Okay. What about Mr. Edwin? This one is a senior lecturer as well. Probably you would like to share your insights. Okay. Have you guys had your breakfast or probably a cup of coffee? Okay, feel free to do it yourself virtually at home. All right. suppose we have another two presenter, but I think that they are not here in the virtual room. Okay. All right, it's okay. We're going to proceed with another presentation by me. Yes, as mentioned, challenges mostly on methods, utilities and respondents. Yes, couldn't agree more. Okay, let's have another presentation session from me. This is with regards to students' perspective. Okay, I'll be sharing my slide. Okay. Okay. All right. If just now we look at lecturers' perspective, now with another team, we're going to look at the students' perspective. Students' challenges of online learning experiences. We have Madam Saira from Sabah, Madam Noraida, sorry, Miss Valiza and Madam Nur Istisara from UITM Terengganu. Okay. All right, so I'll be touching on the highlights of the study. As discussed further, higher learning institutions have aggressively switching to fully online learning platforms as part of the initiative in delivering quality education during pandemic COVID-19. So yes, various apps, teaching methods had been introduced. If you look at your emails, yes, we have several training adopted with the focus to enhance teaching and learning delivery. So online learning platforms has received an overwhelming interest, especially now for the past 2 years during this pandemic, to explore the topic further. Though it is known that online learning have many benefits, but the challenges encountered by students, especially on their learning experiences, cannot be ignored. Okay, so we would like to explore what are the challenges, obstacles that they face in online learning, especially during the pandemic. So this research was being conducted last year. We conduct an in-depth interview as well with the students. 18 students from the Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management. We conduct an interview of roughly 30 minutes per session. And our sampling are basically the class representative for each group and semester for HM240 program. That is degree in hotel management. So the data from the interview are being recorded, transcribed verbatim, and analyzed using Atlas TIE software. We come up to these 6 finding themes. The first one is inadequate internet access. Second one is excessive cost of internet bundles. Lack of communication among students and the lecturers. Lack of group discussions. Inefficient time management and health issues. So I would like to highlight on inadequate internet access as well as lack of group discussions throughout our findings. Some of the majority of the respondents, since we are in East Coast, Terengganu, so majority of our respondents are experiencing these internet connection issues. Poor line connection. If let's say they have face-to-face virtual class, Google Gmeet, for example, like this session where we are having at the moment, it's very difficult for them to turn on their camera because of the poor connection, or even when they are presenting. And some of them, they say that they have to travel out from the house, stay in the car, go to the main road, even stay outside, or only one corner of the house have good coverage of internet access. So a lot of consideration are being given, especially with regards to students poor internet access. We also in Terengganu, basically, we invited these students. We encourage them if they have difficulties in studies in internet connection, they can apply to go back to college, and do their ODL, open and distance learning, in the campus. Okay. And another findings that I would like to highlight is lack of group discussions, since all of them are at home. And one respondent highlighted that um, the he he or she, the respondent basically have more than five siblings, and all of the siblings are also using internet, also having online classes. So a limited of facilities where they need to share devices. Okay. And the best available and the space in their house is very limited, where they have only bedroom one bedroom, and most of them sleep outside, I mean at the living hall. So it's very difficult for them to conduct a group discussion. The best time for them would be at night, midnight. So they take turns between the siblings. So these are among the challenges that they face. And academic advisor play as a crucial role, to all of us as well, to give support and to ease the students with online learning experiences. Okay. So probably, as being highlighted by Mr. RC earlier, um, it's very crucial for us, the lecturers as well as parents as well, giving emotional support, okay, in order for the students to stay motivated. In terms of internet access, strategies or options, solutions probably can be, the internet operators should probably ensure strong internet connectivity, especially in rural areas, and at the same time reduce the cost of internet bundles. Additionally, student package plans should be introduced for students getting discounts over purchasing a new laptops and tablets, as some students have an outdated version of laptops. So this future research can be extended to a larger context, covering large areas and population. Um, with the findings, we hope that it will help the next generation, us as well, lecturers and the student, to create a more quality, robust, enriching, and empowering online learning experiences. Okay. With that, okay, so basically that's would summarize the online learning from the student perspective. Any question? Dr. Sharifa Muslia?
No question, thank you.
Okay, all right.
I, uh,
Um,
I doesn't have any question, but
I,
we can relate from your first presentation just now from this perspective of the lecturers and perspective of students, and we can see that why the student prefer face-to-face compared to online because of these challenges. As you mentioned just now, inadequate internet access because the student doesn't have any line. Sometimes they have to go near to the hills, near outside their home. It's quite dangerous for them. And as your result shown, lacks of communication among students. So all of this would refer why the student prefer face to face compared to online. So we can see all of the relationship there.
Yes,
So
true.
it's a good research.
Yeah, yeah, but I think um yeah, it's almost 2 years at the moment. So whether we like it or not, we have to adapt ourselves, trying our very best to adapt with the environment. And another findings that would be uh, that is that can be highlighted is the health issues. Stress are being mentioned several times throughout the interviews. So some of the students even say that they feel helpless, they feel useless. So it can probably lead to mental health issues. These are the things that are more scary to all of us, right? As educators.
So probably the stress might be due to the student cannot separate between their housework and also their study time. So it's been mixed up. If they in the university, they can focus on their study. So if they have stress, they will have stress only on learning. But if in the house there's stress with the sibling, with the perhaps parents, and then studies, and also internet connections and so forth, deadlines. So that might be the reason why they have health issues. And we
Uh,
have quite alarming suicidal rate in Malaysia, right? Due to um, lockdowns and so forth.
yes.
Mm.
Miss Nur Shahira, probably you would like to share your experiences with regards to online learning, to say a few words.
Okay, I'm agree with your result in your study, Madam Jazira. You all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Because for now, we from practical we have to change for online, and then all the practical tasks, the student must do video, a lot of videos of cooking, so they have a problem with that task, and then mostly have cannot manage their time properly, and some of them have problem with health issues like depression. So that's for me to agree, I agree lah. Face to face actually is more suitable lah for practical than online. It is all from me.
Yes, true. Okay, Ms. Zati here, she said that this is where the support system from the stakeholders need to be looked on in order to help both student and lecturers' well-being. Yes, couldn't agree more. I think everyone have their own role and responsibilities. The parents, the lecturers, the students as well in supporting students' online development, because we have no choice as online learning is a must at the moment too. It's important to in order for the student to sustain their skills development through this closure of the university of the schools, right? So reaching out probably to the faculty, to everyone, as everyone have a role, to academic staff are needed to motivate students. Okay, I think we covered all. Blurred line between work, play, formal, informal. Yes, some say yes, we have to discipline ourselves, but it's easier said than done. Yes, agree. So most lecturers are burnout as well. Probably these are findings from one of I came across this article previously. Um, I think I think it's it's depend on us as well, how we motivate ourselves. Probably at the end of the day, looking back at what we have done throughout the day, mark it off all the items, all the tasks that we have completed would probably motivate us, because look back and we say, oh, okay, for today we have completed, let's say, 5 tasks, right? So it's probably motivate us to stay online. It's 10:20 and no presenters. I think we have done with all the presenters, right? Okay. Any other questions from the floor? No? May I? Yes, Mr. Edwin. You can turn on your camera and switch off your mic. Okay. Study on the actual knowledge gain and the grades obtained via face-to-face versus online. What about in Sabah? What is the scenario, Mr. RC? What about the grades? And also in Penang, students' grade, I mean, with this, during this ODL session.
Um, okay, may I? In terms of the ODL, in terms of our faculty, we are very strict on how to mark our student, on how to evaluate their performance, because of it is online, and then most probably it is an open book. So on how we wanted to evaluate the student, each of the lecturer, we have our own techniques on how to evaluate the students. Because we not only wanted to share the knowledge based on what we should share, but also we wanted to groom the student to be a human being, to be a person. So we wanted them to have this etiquette, to be professional, to have good communication skill, not only have good knowledge. So in terms of we wanted to identify either it is the actual knowledge gain or not. So the results show that um, the differences in terms of marking, some course, of course, they are increasing of like A or even B, but some show that the student have a higher failing rate. Mm. So we are very quite tricky, and also we are very concerned regarding to marking.
In terms of time and work, are your perceptions the same? Your overall expectations, I mean, the same or different from traditional face-to-face and also during this online
Um,
class?
we are coping with the challenges faced by the student too, but the student need to inform what they face. If they didn't inform the lecturers, like I'm sorry, I doesn't have any internet connection line, or I have issue with electricities and so forth, then we cannot help them because they didn't inform us. So um, here communication between lecturer and student is very important.
Yeah, we give a lot of considerations, right, for the students. Okay.
Hi,
Um, yeah, Mr. Edwin.
sorry, my line is sometimes again. uh,
Okay.
the just now, Madam Jazira mentioned the word consideration. Perhaps that word consideration is in inverted commas. You know, we I can see the difference between the performance of students who learn via online and also those who, gain those knowledge through face to face. there are lots of things that are missing um, from the performance of students who got the knowledge through online. Yes, there's not, you cannot deny that face to face is the best method, to teach someone, especially when it comes to motor skills, using uh, techniques. Yeah. Yes, you can watch it on YouTube. I learned something from YouTube throughout this MCO. I just want to take one example. This is one of my hobby, which is fishing. You know, um, I learned something about casting, casting, how to fish using casting technique. Yeah, I read about it. I watched video on YouTube, dozens of videos on YouTube on how to do the casting. But when it comes to the real implementation of doing it, I uh, I found failures in many times. Even though I have employed all the techniques, all the readings that I read, saying that you have to angle your rod at certain degree, and then you have to release the line at a certain angle, blah blah blah. I still wasn't able, to cast properly. My lines keeps tangled, and then it falls on the ground, it falls short, it goes up to the trees and all those things, until I found it. I found I got the that feeling, that feel when I cast it, meaning to say you have to do it. You have to do it, then only you'll be able to, to get that particular movement, or that motor skill. And then you have to make sure that your muscle memorize it and it becomes natural. you know okay, when you say making up baits, it's easy to tell them and to show them how to do the mid corners and all those things, how to tuck the bait sheet under. But when it comes to the real thing, the skills of the movement of the hands, and how you raise the mattress from the bed, all those things play a role, how you position your body. So that's why I said just now, I'm asking the question about the actual knowledge gain versus the grades, because sometimes the grade, I don't know, there's no uh, what do you call this, study done, maybe, yeah, and maybe it's also controversial, because we are going to step on people's toes and you know uh, tails or whatever. Yeah, the grades that they gain from the face to face versus online, the actual knowledge that they get. Because I had that opportunity here, whereby a group of my students were given the opportunity to do online half part of the semester, and then the other part of the semester, we managed to get the campus to agree to get them back on campus. So when I do the practical class with them, and I ask them to perform certain things that has been taught, during the online teaching, they are not able to do it. I ask them, do you know how to do it? Yes, they said, yes, yeah, I know. But when they do it, it's wrong. And when they do it, they realize, hey, it's not as easy as it's been shown on the videos. I shared with them lots of videos from YouTube, and so that's the thing. When it comes for me to evaluate them on their performance, then I have mixed feeling, because again, consideration, and limitations and all those things. Thank you.
What probably would be the best solution or suggestions or ways that you took, Mr. Adrian, with regards to this issue?
Thank you. I don't have the solution. I'm doing, and what I think we are all doing right now, is just to make do and make the best out of what we have. Because sometimes what is nice to have, what is must to have, sometimes is beyond our control. Thank you.
Yes, beautiful words from Mr. Adrian. Agree to that, because like Mr. RC mentioned earlier, this is unexpected. Nobody expect that 2020 will be a year of full of sadness, and we have to stay at home, experiencing what we are having now. But let us look from the positive perspective. Okay. Okay. I guess it's 10:30 now, so I guess this is the end of our session. Any group photo session again? Miss Shahira?
Okay, yes, we can take for the last session, photo for last session. Before we end our session, sorry. Can all of you open your camera, Miss Sharifah, Miss or Madam Geraldine,
Yeah.
Madam Zeki,
Dr. Sharifah.
Train, Rosie. Miss or Madam Saira, you like join our photo session?
She's shy. Okay, nice background, Mr. Edwin.
Thank you. That's all that I can do. See, my camera buat hal lagi.
Oh,
Okay.
So much for technology.
okay, it's okay. Okay, so I will take photo. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
All right. So thank you everyone for your wonderful sharing session, amazing
Thank
insights
you.
that you have throughout the session. I'm sure that all of you are busy, so taking your time from your busy schedules mean the world to us as the organizer. So you can, for Mr. RC, you can have your e-certificate for the presentation at the website. Okay, and probably please join us tomorrow for the closing ceremony. Probably maybe you have the chance to be the best presenter, as we have two juries here, Dr. Sharifa and Miss Chan. So thank you so much, Miss Shahira as well, the support team, okay, and all the participants, Miss Zeti, the general manager, and also Madam Saira from Sabah. Thank you so much. So stay safe, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Assalamualaikum.
Thank you. Can we end the session? Okay.